Well, we're back again with yet another No Fluff analysis, and this time we're going to be talking about the mana spiral added to the 5-star light sword, Gala Prince, or Gala Euden, depending on who you ask. This was added on the 7th of April UTC, and let's cut the fluff and get straight to the first skill, Rising Circlet. This has a potency increase from 1652% to 1700%, with no change in the SP cost when used as a shared skill. The second skill, Exalted Glory, has its paralysis ticks damage increased from 60% to 80.3%, the defense buff it grants goes from 15% to 20%, the shield strength it grants goes from 20% to 30%, and it now grants Gala Euden a strength amp. His first ability of Dragon Gauge Depletion Reduction goes from 30% to 40%, his full curse and poison resist gains the potent effect for both afflictions, and his final ability, Draconic Charge, activates at 40% hit points instead of 30% hit points. Overall, an incredibly minor potency increase to his S1, and his S2 gains minor buffs, but the biggest gain is the strength amp. However, due to the fact that it didn't change the SP cost of it, it's still going to take about 30 seconds to charge each time. So the most a single Gala Euden can achieve is a level 1 team strength amp, due to the fact that it completely falls off if it times out instead of decreasing in levels. This will make him slightly more versatile in the Sinister Dominion fights at least, though the lack of utility from his S1 is still going to hamper him the same way it does now. The strength amp, however, should allow for some team buffs to start kicking in after a minute or so in the light half of the Master Lilith fight. The Dragon Gauge Depletion buff should allow him a few extra seconds of dragon time, further increasing the value that he gets from Daikakuten's dragon form damage. The potent buff to his resistances is fairly standard for spirals, but it's not going to really come into effect that often. And finally, Draconic Charge. It's going to be a tiny bit easier to activate than before, but that is about it. Whether or not it means Peony finally stops blocking Prince's attempts to trigger this in Tartarus is yet to be seen, but overall, a small quality of life change. All in all, it's an okay spiral. Gala Euden was generally well regarded before as a flexible character, but at least with a spiral this adds some major stat boosts and a bit of utility for the Sinister Dominion fights from his Exalted Glory skill. I don't think he's going to take over the meta, but since he's usable in any Shadow content, it's hard to say that he's a bad choice to spiral either. My main interest is in whether or not multiple Gala Eudens can ramp up to high levels of team strength amp by staggering their applications of their S2, which could lead to some faster clears of the first half of Master Lilith. It's something to consider exploring in the future once people farm enough Thor's Trial to get Gala Euden to that point in the spiral. I'll probably spiral him over time due to the fact that he's useful in all Shadow content, but do keep in mind that the farmable materials from Thor's Trial only replaces the mana costs of spiraling. It'll still take orbs and Champion's Testaments alongside other materials to spiral him, so the cost is still somewhat substantial. I think it's worth it, but of course it's going to vary between players depending on their progress and existing roster. In the end, I'm not your boss, do what you want. Thor's Trial is the only Trial of the Mighty available at the moment, so there's not too much you're giving up from doing the weeklies, but obviously that'll change over time once more trials enter the rotation. Either way, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next video.